Yes.
Hey, welcome to Mirit and James, new TV show here on YouTube. No, I'm kidding. I'm James Barbour. I'm sitting with Mirit.
So here's what's really happening. James and Dana, his wife, are very, very dear old friends of mine. And it's very hard to catch James because he's full-time Phantom of the Opera on Broadway. On top of that, husband with a busy wife. And on top of that, they have two girls. So to catch James for an interview is kind of like catching the Dalai Lama.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Well, here's the deal. You literally perform 6 days out of the week. 6 days out of the week. And 2 of those days, he does 2 shows.
So it's 8 shows a week, 6 shows a week, 1 day off a week. It's a pretty crazy schedule. But that's Broadway. I mean, everybody on Broadway does that schedule.
It is that crazy of a schedule?
Yeah.
Okay. But the female leads in your show?
In my show, the female leads, normally you'll do 8 shows a week. It depends upon the show, but in my show, the female leads switch off. So one does 6 shows and one does 2 shows, which is rare these days. It doesn't really happen much.
No, it's a lot of work.
Yeah. I mean, Phantom has been running for 29 years at the end of this month, January.
Wow.
So that precedent was set 29 years ago.
Holy moly. And you've been Phantom now for 2 years?
Coming on 2 years.
2 years. And I have to say, last year when I took my kids to New York, the first thing we went to do is go see Phantom, and I think everybody does that. It's the only Broadway show I know by heart, and that we've always had the songs.
It's iconic, you know?
It is iconic. That's a good way to describe
Yeah.
it. So James didn't actually come here to talk about Phantom.
I came here on vacation.
He's on
And
vacation.
you caught me on vacation.
Yeah, I caught him on vacation. You like that? And
I'm working
stole
on vacation.
him. James and I are actually going to talk about love, being married or not being married, and raising children, and what it takes, because he's been in a successful marriage for years. I'm not, but he made it. And he picked a wife that's an artist like him. She was also a very successful ballerina on Broadway.
My wife danced at American Ballet Theater with Mikhail Baryshnikov and Rudolf Nureyev, and then when Baryshnikov left American Ballet Theater, she went to San Francisco Ballet. And then after San Francisco Ballet, she said, I want to try Broadway. So she auditioned for a Broadway musical as a classical dancer and got it, and that's the show in which we met, which was Carousel.
Oh, you met on Carousel.
We met on Carousel.
Oh my God.
But we didn't start dating. That was 1994, 95. Didn't start dating until 2001. We've known each other. We're together for years, got married in 2007, have 2 amazing kids.
Yes.
You know, but the one thing you did say, which was interesting, was that we have pretty crazy schedules, you know, and I split my time between Los Angeles and New York, television, film, producing, entrepreneurship, Broadway, and you live crazy schedules.
Yes.
And the advantage that I had with, you know, finding an artist is that she understood that schedule and lived it. The tough part is, how do you grow together, raise kids together, and still be able to fulfill that career, while at the same time making sure your kids are happy and healthy and doing
Have
well.
mom and dad, that you guys are wearing your hat. And I
Yeah.
have to say, James, strictly because I know you guys, Dana, first of all, hats off to Dana, because she was as busy of an actor as you are, right? Performing as a performer.
Yep.
And she really wore the mom hat for years and years, right?
Yep.
Raising them, being a full-time mom. And
Well, that yes and no. I mean, she worked during that time. She had her studio. She did things where she was working. And I told you when off camera that I was the manny for a while. I'm a very hands-on dad, and I think I talked about this last night on my Facebook Live feed. How we have to be not just focusing on one aspect of our life, whether it's work. You know, you need to be focusing on work. You need to be focusing on your relationship with your significant other, whoever that is.
Yes.
On your family, because if one of them drops, the other's going to drop.
It's so true. And even though I'm not married today, I'm divorced, I have to say, juggling between the things that make me money and my career and my girls and making sure the house is clean and the bills are paid, and it's sometimes a lot. Like you'll get to a stage where you're doing really great in your career, and then you've neglected your kids a little, or with your spouse. And I think that kind of balance is the only way you can actually make it.
It's the only way. You know, my schedule is such that I work mostly at night. So I see my kids early in the morning.
Yep.
They go off to school. Now, I go to sleep probably 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning because I'm doing shows.
Yeah.
The girls wake up 6:30, 7 o'clock, so I'm up. right? And then my wife gets them prepped, ready for school. I see them, and then I'll end up usually either picking them up from school or seeing them when they come home for dinner, and then I'm gone to the theater.
All day.
So, yeah. So at night.
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
on
yeah,
two shows Thursdays and on Saturdays. So it becomes, you have to kind of figure out how to make it work and make it enjoyable so that those dynamics actually are flourishing and they're doing well. Let me ask you a question. I have a question.
Yes.
This is a question.
I like this.
So,
Somebody's asking me a question.
So you're single.
Yes.
What do you look for? Like when you're looking for a guy or a spouse or a significant other, what is it that you have kids?
Yes.
What is it that you look for in a significant other? Because that's something that people don't talk about. Is what does the other people want? What are the needs of the other person?
The other person. So Randall, I think this is the first time somebody's ever put me on the spot. It's kind of cool because I don't ever get put on the spot, James. I'm almost blushing, but I'm just going to handle this well. So for me, I haven't dated in ages, and I am not dating.
Right.
And there's a reason for that. I was married, raised children, and had a bunch of regrets along the way at that time on having felt like I wasted my life on a husband that wasn't worth it.
Got it.
So for me, I was like, okay, now I'm 40. I can my kids are older now. Makana's almost 15. Kiki's 10. They're very self-sufficient, independent kids. And I'm with them all the time. So I actually have an opportunity now to work on my dreams. So I'm working on that. And I have a viewpoint which I try to imbue into all of my clients that hire me for the love coaching. And my viewpoint is that the more of a high caliber being you are, the more likely you are to pull in a high caliber being.
Yeah.
So I don't want to find a man that will make me happy. I want to get to a point where I'm just stably happy, where I'm living the life I love so much that I don't need the man. I really want him. And I enjoy him so much as a friend that if I lost him, it wouldn't be like a romance that didn't work. But like, no, I would want to get into a relationship with somebody who I love their friendship. They're also a very big being. They play big games. They don't need me. They want me to be in their life because I'm not 20 anymore.
Right.
I'm not trying to have kids. I'm not having any more kids ever. Like that would be a deal breaker. If I met somebody and they seemed like the perfect man, but they said, listen, I have to have a kid or I have to have another kid, game over.
Right.
I'm done having kids.
What about adopting?
I would consider adopting because I love kids. So anybody, if a kid needed it, like you said, Mirit, I can't take care of my kids, I'll take them both.
Yeah.
I would do that for anyone, any kid.
Right.
But
well, it's like us. I mean, both Dana and I are 50. We're going to be 51.
I can never believe you guys are 50. He has the hottest wife of all times, skinny, fitness guru.
Yeah.
And you, and I can't relate to that because I always think you guys are younger than me.
But it's that, the body that, at a certain point, it's like, now I'm tired and my kids are younger than your kids. So it's like, it's you want to be able to have that energy to be able to play with your kids. So, it's interesting that you said, and I heard this a long time ago, how people say, oh, that person completes me. That person makes me whole, which is interesting because I don't look at it that way. I look at me, you, my wife, we're whole beings as we are.
Yes.
And you don't need someone to complete you. You need someone to complement you. That's how I look at it.
Oh, what a great distinction. I mean? Complement you. See, I love that because to me, we're each individuals.
Right.
We don't meld into one. We're not all one being. We're each everybody on earth is an individual. They're their own person. There's nobody like them.
Right.
And little fly. And
I'm hungry.
You're
No,
don't eat it. Don't eat it. And to me, I want to be with a man who has as much drive as I do, is passionate about their dreams.
Right.
And so when we're together, we just support each other.
Yeah.
Like really, really support each other. And not that I want to be with somebody again and then have a breakup, but I do want to know that they don't, they're not needy. I guess that would be.
They don't need you to survive.
They don't need me.
You work together, and together you make something greater than the sum of your parts.
Exactly.
But you're individuals on your own right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, God, sirens, helicopters, they found us. See you guys
We're in
later.
support. Hang on a minute, we gotta wait.
That is really loud.
Yeah.
The other thing is, and I think this might be true to a lot of single parents, I think when you get to a stage where you know you're not going to have any more kids, it would be easier for me if I met a man that already has kids and doesn't want any more kids.
Right.
I would like for him to know what it's like to be a parent, but not need me to become a new parent.
Right.
So if I could meet somebody that's already had kids, it would be way easier.
Yeah. Yeah, totally makes sense.
So,
Well, thank you for being on my show.
Yeah.
I want to thank you guys for watching the James and Mirit show. Because, you know, I do this, right? This is what I do too.
You
So,
have
tables
shows, you
turn.
have Broadway. I know, it's
Yeah.
so crazy. No, James, seriously, I love you guys to no end. And if I can have a marriage like you and Dana's, I'm in. If I can't, I'm out.
Yeah, well, thanks.
So
She's a
thank
pretty
you.
awesome chick.
She's the best.
She's awesome.
So thank you and see you later.
See you later, guys.
Dude, you're the bomb. Is he like the best of the best of the best, Randall?